Okay, so the world of AI is moving at an absolutely blistering pace. But if you look past all the new models and the viral chatbots, there's a much bigger story playing out. We're talking about a massive industrial build-out, trillion-dollar swings in the market, and this desperate race to figure out the rules of the road. Let's dive right in.
And hey, if you need proof that this isn't all just hype, just check out this number from Stanford. Enterprise AI adoption has literally skyrocketed from 55% to a massive 78%. So what does that actually mean? It means AI has officially crossed over. This is no longer an experiment. For businesses all over the world, it's not a nice to have anymore, it's a must have. So here's what we're going to break down. We'll start with this incredible constriction boom, what we're calling the Great AI build-out. Then we'll look at why the market's getting so nervous, the trillion-dollar cooldown. We'll get into the frantic effort to craft some rules, then see the new playbook companies are using to build on a stronger foundation, and finally, what all this means for you.
First up, the great AI build-out. And look, we're not just talking about software and algorithms anymore. This is about physical stuff, a real global-scale gold rush for infrastructure. And the scale of it is just staggering.
Now, check this out. What's so wild here isn't just the text, it's the signal it sends. You've got Sam Altman and OpenAI basically saying, hey, you know those huge tax credits for making computer chips? We need those for AI data centers too. Just think about what that means. It puts AI infrastructure on the same level of national importance as making our own chips. We could be looking at the biggest compute build-out we've ever seen. So, what's fueling this fire? Well, it's kind of a perfect storm, right? The name of the game has totally changed. It's not about having the fanciest model anymore. It's about who has the most raw horsepower, the most compute. You've even got crypto miners jumping ship, realizing they can make more money renting out their gear for AI. But all of this has a cost. It's putting a massive strain on power grids all over the world. And at the exact same time, AI is weaving its way into, well, everything. Okay, but here's the thing about a gold rush. They always have their wobbles. And all this insane growth, it's starting to meet some serious reality checks. People are getting nervous, which brings us to what's being called the trillion-dollar cooldown. And this leads to the big, scary question that everyone's asking, right? Are we in an AI bubble? I mean, the hype is through the roof, and you can see the markets are starting to get jittery, really jittery. And wow, just look at this number. This is what that fear looks like in cold, hard cash. We're talking about $1 trillion in value vanishing from AI-heavy tech companies in 1 week. This is not just a little dip, folks. This is a massive wake-up call that shouts, hey, maybe things got a little overheated. So what's the bottom line here? The party's over for companies that are all sizzle and no stake. You know, the ones just running on hype. The message from the market is crystal clear. Show us the money. Show us a real return on investment, or your valuation could just collapse. The pressure is absolutely on. All right, so as the tech gets bigger and the market gets shakier, another huge issue comes into focus. Rules. We need some rules. But trying to regulate something this powerful that's moving this fast, it's a massive challenge. It really is like the Wild West out there, and everyone's looking for a sheriff. And what we're seeing right now is this giant global tug of war. On one side, you've got the EU with its big AI Act. It's the most comprehensive rule book anyone's tried to write. But on the other side, you have the US and big tech pushing back hard. They're worried it's all going to slow down innovation. And you better believe the outcome of this fight is a huge deal. If the EU backs down, it could totally change where all the money and talent in AI decides to go. But you know, it's not just about governments making rules. The problem is happening inside companies too. Just look at this. It's kind of shocking, right? A whopping 88% of financial firms are basically saying we can't control the stuff our own AI is spitting out. I mean, think about the compliance risks there. It's a huge red flag that companies are using tech that they don't really have a handle on. And because of that risk, a whole new industry is just exploding. We're talking about AI model risk management. It's set to become a $14.5 billion market. And why? Because people are finally realizing that when an AI model messes up, it's not just a little bug. It's a major business risk. So now you need a whole new class of experts, auditors, safety engineers, you name it, just to manage it all. Okay, so you've got shaky markets and chaos over the rules. How does the industry actually move forward? Well, they're writing a new playbook. And this time, it's not just about building bigger, crazier models. It's about building a foundation that's actually strong and smart. And a huge piece of this new playbook is a big shift to something called context engineering. Now, forget just typing a simple prompt into a chat box. We're talking about building entire systems. You might have heard of RAG, or Retrieval Augmented Generation. The easiest way to think about it is like giving the AI a super smart research assistant that goes and finds the perfect information it needs right when it needs it. And it turns out giving the AI the right context is way more important than just having the biggest, baddest model. And this completely changes what it means to be an AI engineer. Seriously, the job isn't just about building a model anymore. It's about managing the whole ecosystem. You have to be an expert in governance and risk, you have to build rock-solid pipelines for data, and you have to juggle all these complex systems. Why? Because at the end of the day, the biggest bottleneck isn't the model, it's the data you feed it.
Right. And when you build all this new stuff, you also create a ton of new risks. All this complex infrastructure, it's like opening 1,000 new doors for bad actors. So the final piece of the puzzle is security. We're even seeing companies use AI to defend their AI systems. And this is key. AI governance and security, they're not just for the IT department anymore. They're critical skills for the whole business.
Okay, so we've talked about the big build-out, the market getting nervous, the scramble for rules, and the new playbook. Let's pull it all together and get to what really matters. What on earth does all this mean for you?
Well, the bottom line is that we all need a new set of skills. It doesn't matter what your job title is, being AI native is becoming a requirement across the board. The really deep tech skills, like designing GPU clusters, huge demand. The more practical stuff, like that context engineering we talked about, absolutely essential. And then there's the big picture stuff, governance, security, regulation. Those are becoming some of the most important top-tier jobs out there.
And I think this quote just nails it. The very idea of work is changing under our feet. This isn't about AI coming for your job. It's about every single one of us becoming a human-AI hybrid operator. Your value, your edge, is going to come from how well you can use these tools. Working with AI. That's just the new normal.
So let's leave you with this to think about. We're in a brand new world where computing power is the new gold, the rules are literally being made up as we go, and the skills you need are evolving almost overnight. This AI-powered future isn't some far-off concept. It's being built as we speak. The only question left is, how are you going to stake your claim in it?